Hi boys and girls, we are here with a writing lesson for you today, and we are focusing today on what a correct sentence looks like. And we're focusing mainly on capital letters and periods. So we've been talking a lot about this over the last few weeks, so it shouldn't be new to you guys, but we really want to make sure that this is not something you ever forget when you're doing your writing. That every single time you write a sentence, you start with a capital letter and you have an end mark, whether that is a question mark or an exclamation mark or a period. You never forget your end marks. So our directions for today's paper say to read each set of sentences and circle the correct sentence. So the correct sentence in this one is going to have two things, Miss Marquardt. What will those two things be?
Well, I know that it has to have a capital letter and it needs some form of punctuation.
Yes. So if I look here, number one says he likes to read. Same sentence, he likes to read. They both have a period, but one thing is different about these two.
Ooh, yeah, they say the exact same thing, but I'm noticing that the one on my side does have a capital letter and the one over here does not.
So which one is correct?
Well, we have to start with a capital letter, so this one is correct. And it looks like the directions tell us to circle the one that's correct. So I'm going to put a big circle around this sentence. He likes to read.
Excellent. I'm gonna skip down to number 3 because I think this one is one that is a little trickier than this one. Looks a little easier.
Yeah, this one looks confusing.
Yes. So number 3, what is your name? What is your name? They're the same exact sentence. They even both have a capital letter at the beginning. However, the end marks are different. This one has a question mark and your sentence has a period. So we need to decide what kind of sentence is this. If it's a question, it needs a question mark. If it's a statement, it needs a period. So what do you think?
Well, they both look correct when I look at them the first time, but I noticed that it starts with a question word. It's asking something. It has the word what. And I remember from a lesson earlier this year that anytime we start with a question word, our punctuation should be a question mark, not a period.
Exactly.
So even though they both look like they're done correctly, we really have to look carefully at the beginning of the sentence. So I'm going to go ahead and circle the first one this time.
Good job. So I'm also noticing as I look closer to the bottom that, for example, number 6, and we're not going to circle the right answer, but we are going to read it.
Okay.
I'm noticing that both of these sentences have capital letters and periods, so something else must be different. Let's read and figure out why these two sentences are different. Number 6 says, the dog in the grass. This sentence says, the dog ran in the grass. So feels like this one is missing maybe the action word.
Yeah, it doesn't tell us what the dog does in the grass. So it has a capital letter, it has a period, and it has words, but the words don't make sense.
It's kind of incomplete, isn't it?
Incomplete.
So not only are you going to focus on periods and capitals, but you also want to read. That's why it's important to read the sentence. Don't just circle the one that has a period and a capital, because we're seeing that some of them have all the correct punctuation and end marks, and you need to pay attention to, does it sound like a complete sentence? And it sounds like Miss Marquardt's sentence over there, telling us what the dog is doing in the grass, is complete. Okay. And I think that you guys should be able to finish the rest of this. So we're going to pull the paper up and show you what we want you to do at the bottom, which you can't do unless you watch this video because you won't know what to write about. All right, down at the bottom, it says directions. Write a sentence about, and then we were very sneaky and we put in the video. You're not going to write a sentence about the video. We're going to tell you right now what we want you to write about. So Ms. Marquardt's going to write on this line. It says, write a sentence about your hobby. And a hobby is something that you like to do. It might be a sport that you play. It might be an instrument that you play. Just something you like to do in your spare time. Maybe you enjoy playing video games or playing with your dog, right?
Anything.
Maybe you enjoy reading, okay? So we want you to make sure you have a capital letter and a period, and that it's a complete sentence. You're telling us what you're doing and what your hobby is. And even if you want to stretch that sentence, you can tell us where you like doing that too.
Or why it's their favorite.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe we could give them some sentence starters.
Yeah.
So I'll actually hand the marker. That's
Okay.
probably going to be easier. I was thinking students could start with the words like, my hobby is.
Okay, that's a good one. And then you will fill in the rest of it. My hobby is to go skateboarding outside.
Or they could even just start with the words, I like to.
That's a great one. I like to. So you don't have to write both of these sentences. These are just options.
Yeah.
You can choose either one of them and fill in the rest of the sentence and make sure that you have your period at the end. Okay? So that's pretty much it.
You can do it.